While casting jigs with live bait and shiver minnows are outwardly two totally different presentations.
Okay. Yeah. Boy, they're liking that purple.
The darn shiver minnow was almost as long as he was, but he sure wanted it.
Well, there's a school of them in here this size, isn't there?
Yeah.
The cadence that Daryl, Marty, and Gary are using to work their mix of lures back to the boat is generally the same, save the specific action unique to the tack.
The Jigmeister comes through every time.
Oh,
bigger
man.
fish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, bigger. Look at that, biggest fish of the day, and I'm just getting started.
However, any areas with more weeds are still better approached via jigs for nothing else than being less prone to snags.
There we go.
Yeah.
I like
There
that.
we got
Did
him.
you get the net, Daryl?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Nice
That's a
job.
pretty decent fish. So, Marty, does that make you the Chubmeister then?
I'm not sure that I want to be too proud of that one.
Yeah, that's kind of a dubious title.
It is.
Well, whether you're fishing a jigging spoon, a shiver minnow, or a blade bait, one of the things we like to do is cast up into a little bit shallower water or along the edge of a break, and then work that bait back, let it fall to the bottom, hit bottom, snap it up, crank up a little line and let it free fall. Sometimes the fish will hit it on the drop, other times they'll hit it as it hits bottom, it'll just suck it up off the bottom. One of the key things though is once you get it back to the boat, don't just crank it in. Vertical jig it sometimes as many as 10 to 12 times, just up and down, because those fish will sometimes follow it and you gotta entice them into hitting that bait. And a lot of our biggest fish have come right underneath the boat, even though we've been working the bait up and down the break.
In contrast to the traditional general structure, walleyes are known for loitering around this time of year, taking locating fish to the next level by effectively utilizing your sonar and maps together can mean not only expanding your spots to fish.
Marty, I think we should go try to find some more.
That sounds good.
We might find a school and cherry pick a couple of the bigger ones out of it.
But even raising the bar for size on an otherwise cookie cutter sized bite.
Big eyes, he just couldn't help himself. Saw that chub and he got the big eyes. There's one.
Ooh, that looks like a decent one.
Feels like a pretty good one.
Awesome.
You need a net?
Yeah, I better get the net.
All right.
You ready?
I think I can get this one.
Okay. Here he comes. Right, that's right. Jeez, Marty. That's like the whippiest net job I've ever seen.
Net him fast, net him slow. You're going to have to tell me.
God, you guys are like the reincarnation of grumpy old men.
They ain't gonna bite you.
That's it, I'm done.
I'm telling you. I'm going to show you exactly how we're locating these fish and pinpointing them. So I'm going to have to drive around to do that. We're going to put the camera right on the screen the whole time so you can see how dynamic this is and how the story will unfold right before your eyes. So we're going to go actually drive around, pinpoint some fish, and then we'll start fishing them when we're done. But you're going to find this to be a really, really helpful tip for your electronics use. This is what we're looking for right here. We're looking for these fish coming off the edge. Now, advanced sonar electronics is you basically push that, it drops a cursor on that fish. So instead of looking for structure, we're actually looking for fish too. You can see I've froze the screen here with the cursor. Now all I do is go over to waypoint, hit it twice, and since all of my units are connected, it drops a waypoint exactly on that fish. You can see I've got a zoomed in version here on my map and a zoomed in version there on my map. So I've got that fish pegged right there, and there's a bunch of fish next to it. So now I just go back to my sonar, I clear that cursor, it brings me right back to the graph where you can see that's been scrolling. So all I need to do to go and find and relocate those fish is to drive right back to that waypoint, and I've got those fish pegged perfectly. So we've got these fish pegged now. Daryl and Marty are already up casting and getting ready to catch the fish. That's exactly how you nail them. You look for them. With these electronics, you peg them and you go back and fish exactly where they are. You're not even necessarily looking at just the structure anymore, but you're nailing the fish on top of the structure. And that's where it's at in today's world of electronics.
topics, leading information, and tackle and techniques to make you a better angler. Presented by Mercury.
You know, this is the time of year, it's middle of fall, that dealers like Sportomotive and guys like Kurt are seeing a lot of boats and motors come in for winterization. And it's really important to do that in these winter months to keep your engines running good from year to year. Now, Kurt, really, it's a pretty simple process, but it's really important for these anglers to do each off season to keep those engines running correctly. And we're looking at a 4-stroke right here. People have 2 strokes. Basically, what goes into the process of what you guys look for when you're winterizing these engines?
We're looking for, like, the big thing is the lower unit grease. If we notice any water in there, obviously we're going to address it, you know, seals, whatever, right away in the fall. That way in the spring, when people want to get in their boats, they're ready to go. We also make sure the fuel systems are all stabilized and ready to go. With the 2 strokes, we fog the cylinders, being as the cranks don't get the oiling of the 4 strokes.
Sure.
So we spray fogging oil through the carburetors to get them lubed up, and that way come spring, all the people have to do is charge their batteries and make sure they are charged, hit the key and go. Worry-free of broken lower units or anything else.
Sure, so I mean, like you mentioned, 2 strokes and 4 strokes, there's a little bit different procedure that guys like Kurt will do. So pay attention to that, but really it's important. Like he said, when springtime comes and that ice goes off the water and those walleyes are ready to bite, if you winterize the engines, bring them into dealers, these Mercury dealers like Sportomotive, they'll have your boat ready to go as soon as that ice is off, and you can go out and catch a lot of walleyes.